There was once a time when the Earth was dominated by microscopic single-celled organisms. These pioneering eukaryotes were born in the eon named the Proterozoic. The Proterozoic time period ranged from 2500 to 538.8 million years ago. We can begin by shedding some light as to the context of the universe at this time. The Earth had just exited the Archean Eon and faced one of the largest crises in history, the Great Oxidation Event. The Earth had received an enormous spike in oxygen due to cyanobacteria who evolved porphyrin-based photosynthesis, which produces the oxygen as a byproduct. The Great Oxidation Event was a mass extinction event, killing roughly 80% of all life. It completely turned the evolutionary playing field on its head. A world which once favored an anaerobic biosphere now favored eukaryotic organisms. After the GOE, the eukaryotes did emerge. One of these eukaryotes was the beacont. These specimens are characterized by their flagella, and as you can see in the photo, they can develop some interesting structures. The beacont were alive during the Mesoproterozoic or around 1600 million years ago. We also have the Diaphotices, which is a major group of eukaryotes, containing over 400,000 species. These are of major significance today as they make up the majority of the Earth's biomass that carries out photosynthesis. The world would be a very different place without them. Archaeplastida are another major group of eukaryotes comprising the phototrophic red algae, green algae lead plants, and the minor group glaucophytes. 1600 million year fossils of these have been found in India. Provora is a proposed supergroup made up of predatory microbes devouring voracious protists. The dynamics of this organism speaks to the variety of evolutionary differences that can occur. A protist is any eukaryotic organism that is not a plant, animal, or fungus. They are said to, along with all other eukaryotes, descend from one LECA or last eukaryotic common ancestor. Some examples are slime molds and parasites. Kingdom of Plantae are basically just any plants and are predominantly photosynthetic, obtaining energy from sunlight using chloroplasts. Kingdom fungi is quite self-explanatory. They are the principal decomposers in ecological systems. Kingdom Animalia is again quite self-explanatory. It essentially encompasses the multicellular animal world. The Ansirmonida refers to a small group of biflagellate protists found in the soil and in aquatic habitats, where they feed on bacteria. Includes freshwater or marine organisms, benthic, dorsoventrally compressed and with two unequal flagellae, each emerging from a separate pocket. The Breviatia are a group of free-living mitochondriate parasitic protists with uncertain phylogenetic position. They are biflagellate and can live in oxygen-free environments. Currently, they are placed in the Oberzau clade. They do not seem to possess vinculin proteins. Their metabolism relies on fermentative production of ATP, stemming from an adaptation to their oxygen-free environment. Opisthokonts are a large group of eukaryotes, including both the animal and fungus kingdoms. They were previously referred to as the fungi metazone group. Now, one other thing to keep in mind when discussing this topic: the symbiotic relationships that formed regarding these eukaryotes, notably evolving between the mitochondria and chloroplasts. It is also important to make the distinction between eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Where eukaryotes have a nucleus, the prokaryote does not. There are also many other differences between the two. A eukaryote's nucleus stores the cell's DNA, which is divided into linear bundles called chromosomes. These are separated into two matching sets by a microtubular spindle during nuclear division in the distinctly eukaryotic process of mitosis. The eukaryotic signature proteins have no homology to proteins in other domains of life, but appear to be universal among the eukaryotes. Their cells include a variety of membrane-bound structures, together forming the endomembrane system. In all but one eukaryote, there are mitochondrial organelles, monosaccharomatoids being without, having secondarily lost its mitochondria. Plants and various groups of algae have plastids as well as having mitochondria. Plastids, similar to mitochondria, have their own DNA and are developed from endosymbionts, in this case cyanobacteria. Plenty of eukaryotes have long, slender, motile cytoplasmic projections, called flagella, or multiple shorter structures called cilia. These organelles are variously involved in movement, feeding, and even sensation. The cells of plants and algae, fungi and most chromoviolates, however not animals, have a cell wall. This is a layer outside the cell membrane, providing the cell with structural support, protection, and a filtering mechanism. The cell wall prevents overexpansion as well when water enters the cell. Many fossils of eukaryotes have been found, some as old as 2.2 billion years. Structures proposed to show large colonial organisms have been found in the Paleoproterozoic Francovillian B Formation in Gabon. The eukaryote can also reproduce in multiple different ways. In the eon of the Eukaryote, the continental structure of the world would have looked something like this. The supercontinent is called Rodinia. The origin of the Eukaryote is called eukaryogenesis and is, of course, a major milestone in the evolution of life. The eukaryote has gone on to form even the largest life forms today, such as the blue whale, while remaining mostly microscopic organisms. The eukaryotes were crucial in the development of complex multicellular life, and humans, along with all their creations, would have never been without the eukaryote.